Warm welcome everybody to our team representatives press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Japanese Grand Prix. From left to right, we're joined by Koji Watanabe, Ayao Komatsu and Stella. A very warm welcome to you all. Why don't we go right to left? Andrea, if we could start with you. Bad memories, first of all. Can we throw it back to China, which was a source of great frustration for the team? Do you fully understand the cause of the problems prior to the start?
Yeah, so China was definitely a challenging and frustrating event for us. Two cars not being able to take part in a Grand Prix is pretty exceptional as a situation. We understand the source of the problem. In both cases, it was related to the electrical side of the power unit. We had faults on the battery, but different faults, pretty much at the same time of the week, and in this sense is quite exceptional. We have worked together with HPP to investigate the problem. I think the problem is now understood. It's not the same, like I say, on the two batteries. And on Oscar's side, we were in condition to reuse the same battery because we could apply some repairs, while on Lando's side, we needed to go on to a new battery pack.
It's still very early in these regulations. Are you worried of a repeat happening here?
No, we trust 100% that HPP put in place remedials. I think we are exposed as a team. Likewise, all other teams may be exposed. There's no team dependency in the kind of problem that we had on the electrical side of the power unit. The HPP have very high standards when they have information to process from a fault. For sure, they will execute and put in place all the necessary learnings, adaptations, and actions to avoid a repeat. So we are definitely looking forward here to having, I would say, a regular weekend, like we haven't had the chance in China, and to some extent not even in Australia, with Oscar spinning in the laps to the grid. And we look forward as a team, and above all, we look forward for Oscar, who has not been able to have a lap in a race this season. And yeah, so we want to definitely break this trend and be there.
You mentioned Oscar. Just how much is he on the back foot, having not done a racing lap so far this year?
With entirely new regulations and also a different way of going racing, where you have now, as a driver, to manage the shortage of electrical energy, which at the same time is so crucial for propulsion. There's a lot of learning in every single lap you do in a weekend, and obviously when it comes to racing and racing other cars, the race itself is the most important situation to learn. So from this point of view, Oscar is a little bit on the back foot, but at the same time, there's a lot that you can learn looking at the data of your teammates. Even in the race in China, I was with Oscar and Lando. We were commenting, we were learning while looking. So there's learning anywhere. And also I have to say that Lando and Oscar are collaborating this season, if anything, more than ever before. Like they keep gelling in terms of teammates. They keep sharing information. They keep trying to see what is the common learning. So I think Oscar has taken some benefit from what has happened collectively as a team.
Final one from me. Just how much potential does MCL40 have, do you think?
The MCL40 is a very high potential platform. At the moment, our car, when we compare to Ferrari and Mercedes, suffers a bit of a deficit in grip. So Ferrari and Mercedes are faster than us in the corners. I think compared to Mercedes GP, we see that we are probably underexploiting the power unit a little bit, It was better in China compared to Australia. We are on a steep learning curve when it comes to getting the most out of the power unit, which is positive, and we are working very well with HPP to make sure that we get on top of all the potential, extracting all the potential that is available in the power unit. But coming back on the chassis side, we understand exactly what to do in terms of putting in place the actions to improve the chassis furthermore. In fact, it's just about bringing upgrades that will increase the aerodynamic efficiency. This will happen in the next couple of events. So I think from there, we should see a positive trajectory, and we are confident that McLaren will be in condition to compete for podiums and victories on merit within this season.
Great. Andrea, thank you for that. Now, Ayao, if we could come to you. It's been a fantastic start to the season for Haas. You're P5 in the Constructors' Championship, just 1 point behind. 1 point behind McLaren.
P4.
I need to look at my stats better. But can we, Ayao, can we just talk about the 2 races so far as a whole? What aspects of the performance has pleased you the most?
No, I think it's overall togetherness of the team. I think, as everybody here knows, that preparing for this brand new regulation has been a huge challenge. And for us being the smallest team, the challenge was, I would say, even bigger. But we managed to hit every single milestone in terms of hitting the shakedowns, Barcelona, Bahrain 1-2, and then throughout, like Andrea said, every lap we send a car out, we are learning something. So learning rate was really, really steep. And then we may lack some of the, let's say, off-track tools that some of the bigger teams may have. So things we have to learn, the track is huge, and we have to be doing it really, really quickly. But everybody is working together, looking at the problems in front of you, making improvement every session, every run. So that's what translated into the result. And we always said we really need to focus on the basics. First, let's say 5 races, there will be reliability issues, which is normal for this brand new regulation. So we know what's going to happen in front of us. So we just got to be there to pick up those places available. And I feel like we've done most of that, not quite because we couldn't get both cars in 2 points, but overall, I'm really, really pleased how this team is putting together.
You say you're lacking some of the off-track tools. Just how long do you think you can maintain this level?
That's a very good question. We know what we are lacking. We know what we can do. So we're doing obviously parallel work. One, obviously making best of what we got. But at the same time, we are in the process of installing a simulator in Banbury as well and a few other tools. So I think development race is going to be very tough, but at least to start off with, our car has a decent characteristic. It's a really good base. So we know the direction is correct. It's just a matter of can we find enough performance to keep up with the others.
Talking of performance, Ollie Behrman is driving extremely well, scoring points at every opportunity. Do you think he's taken a step over the winter?
He takes step every single time. You saw how much he improved throughout last year, right? As we said, his speed's never been in doubt. Then you saw the consistency improvement towards the end of last year. Mexico P4 was amazing under huge pressure. And then pre-season testing throughout, working with the engineers, mechanics, feedback, all the quality has improved. And if you look at the first 2 races, he hardly made any mistakes. It's just the way he can absorb the information, understand the bigger picture, able to articulate it, digest, apply all this quality you need to be a top driver. He's got it, and the thing is, like, his attitude is very, very positive. So he brings best out of people around him as well. Engineers, mechanics, everyone. That's a very important quality. Even when there's let's say some less than ideal situation happens, the way he deals with it, he actually doesn't depress people. He actually motivates people to be able to solve the problem quicker. So that's a natural attribute he's got. So we all really enjoy working with him. And then at the moment, I can't see the ceiling. So that's the exciting part.
Ayao, thank you very much for that. And Watanabe-san, thank you for waiting. It's been a tough start to the season for Honda. Please, can you start by just outlining the main issues with your power unit?
Well, we are starting a new season with the Aston Martin Aramco. And as you know, we are struggling in on-track performance at this moment. I believe that there are several reasons. And the first one is that, of course, a new power unit regulation is quite challenging for us. And the second one is that we stopped the Formula One activities end of 2021 and announced to return to Formula One 2023. So there are some period that during that period, our Formula One activities are quite limited. Also, it took a bit long time for us to rebuild the organization to restart the Formula One power unit development. But now we are working closely with the Aston Martin Aramco to work not only technical area, but also overall area, how we can rebuild and build the strong partnership together with them. And so Aston Martin Aramco and Honda is not only just F1 constructors and power unit manufacturers, but also we are working closely as a one team. So actually, in our facility in Japan, the engineer from the Aston Martin Aramco is really working hard closely with our engineer in Sakura, working together. So I think most important is we can keep moving forward step by step.
Looking specifically at performance, have you been able to make progress since China?
Yes. At this moment, we are focused on how we can improve the situation of vibration, mainly damage to battery area. But also this time for Suzuka, we are improved energy management situation for more driving performance.
And looking at the rest of the season, how will you quantify success between now and Abu Dhabi?
Well, we have some recovery plan together with Aston Martin, but we cannot tell that today.
Okay, Watanabe-san, thank you for that. Let's now open this to the floor. We will start with the broadcasters, if we have any questions from the broadcasters. Thank you.
Hi, Merve Kallio from Viaplay. To Andrea, today practice one is behind us, and as we can see, you have been closing the gap a little bit. Is that a result of better understanding of the power unit in general, or is it something else? And also another question, how long will it take that you will get the full potential from the power unit and equal Mercedes with it?
Yeah, so the free practice one session here in Suzuka, actually, I think it was in line with expectations. I think if we look at the best sectors, Ferrari still appears to be a little faster than McLaren, and I think Mercedes, once it's the time to put the fast lap times together, they will have a step on everyone. So I think here in Suzuka, things have unfolded from a performance point of view like expected. I have to say that this has been the smoothest free practice one in terms of power unit exploitation, which is the result of improving our learning session by session, working with HPP. So I think now the gap is pretty small compared to what is available in the power unit, and it will get smaller and smaller race after race. For us, the main thing that we need to focus on, I have to say, in addition to the power unit, and mainly, is actually gaining more out of the chassis. We still see here in Suzuka, for instance, in Sector 1, in the high-speed section, we lose too much time from Ferrari and Mercedes. So it's very clear the areas that we want to improve, and like I said before, we should have already some upgrades coming in the next couple of races.
Thank you. Next. Yeah, Ted.
just to pick up on that with you, Andrea, and then I have a question for Mr. Watanabe, if that's all right. So, Andrea, you're saying that you're learning a bit more here. Is it a case that Mercedes HPP give you information freely, or do you have to ask a question and then they answer it? Do they give you more information off their own backs? How does that work? And Mr. Watanabe, if I can ask, many people will have seen Max Verstappen winning 4 World Championships in a row, Drivers' World Championships with a Honda engine. Can you explain to them how you can go from such successful power units there to ones that have these vibration issues? Thanks.
In terms of power unit exploitation, I would say that the main limitation as a customer team has been the timeline. It's been a push program, like it's been pushed from all teams, for all competitors. Like for us, certainly it's been a program, the delivery of the MCL40 that was pushed up to the last minute. The same has happened for the power unit manufacturers. So it's relatively normal that in this condition as a customer you tend to be a little bit on the back foot, and we are learning together with our HPP engineers how to use the power unit. They are learning together with us. It's not like information is held back. There's maximum sharing. We work very well with HPP and with our engineers. We've been world champions together 3 times in the last 2 years, so the relationship is great. It's more about catching up with the timeline. So we remain pretty optimistic that, like I said before, we are now not far from maximum exploitation from a power unit point of view. There was a second part in your question, or I've answered?
I think, Andrea,
Yeah, cool.
you've answered. Watanabe-san, if you could answer now.
Yes, of course. We have enough experience until the 2025. So, as I told you, that most difficult point is that we start the development a bit later than compared to the others, and also. The test on the dyno vibration is acceptable level, but if once we integrate in the actual chassis, the vibration is getting much more than the test on the dyno. So of course, only PU, we cannot solve the problem, only the PU. So we are really closely together with Aston Martin and Aramco to solve the problem, not only the power unit, but also together with the chassis.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's open it to the written media now as well. Who's first, please?
At the front?
Adam first, yeah.
Adam Cooper, one question for Andrea. You talked after China about learning from adversity and the way you guys bounced back after Qatar and Vegas last year. Did you see that process underway in Woking in the last 10 days? Do you come here as a stronger team after what happened in China?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The way the team has reacted to the frustration of not seeing a McLaren taking part with both cars in Grand Prix has been once again a way of witnessing the strength of the culture that we have in the team. This is the result of an investment on our people, on our culture that has been going on for 3 years. We said last year that the championship was won when we resisted the adversity. Qatar, and that you have mentioned as well, Qatar, Vegas. And in a way, we kind of have the same belief this year. If anything, McLaren, at least since when I'm team principal, right now is in its strongest version as a team. We have never had this level of capabilities and infrastructure. We have never had before, even when we were winning championships, this level of expertise and talent in the team. I've never seen, like I said before, Lando and Oscar working so well together. And I can see that the pattern that led us in the last 3 years to just instigate such an upwards trajectory, I can see that this pattern is forming up. So I think there's all the reasons to be very encouraged looking at the future. And like I said before, hopefully we will start to see some improvements already in the next events.
Thank you, Andrea. Next.
Scott Mitchell from The Race. It's a question for Watanabe-san. Over here. Hello. Once the attention turns from reliability to performance, do you believe that this engine you have now can be upgraded to the level required this season, or do you need to prioritize development on a new design for 2027?
Well, it's quite difficult to say, but at least we need to improve not only the reliability, but also performance also. Yeah, under current regulation, it's difficult to improve the performance itself. So, so currently we are focused on how to improve the reliability, and also within the rule, we have to improve the performance. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Next one.
Shiga Sports Japan. Question for Watanabe-san. In Australia, Adrian Newey made a couple of statements that were a little bit surprising for us and has been confirmed as a misunderstanding, because Honda has been very open from the very beginning of this partnership. Since now Adrian Newey has returned to his original role as managing technical partner, do you expect a closer relationship between him and Honda to fix the core issues?
I'm sorry, I don't know the organization change. Still, Adrian is the representative of the team, I think. Yeah? And what was the question? How's the relationship? The relation between Aston Martin, Aramco, and Honda is quite good. Huh? So each between the actual development team, like in case of Honda, the Kakuda is the product leader of the power unit, and also Enrico-san is the Aston Martin side. So they closely work together. So, and also myself and Mr. Stroll, or myself and Adrian Newey, is quite a good relation. So I have no worry about that.
Okay. Thank you. Next one.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Andrea, one for you. We've got this 5-week gap coming up after the cancellation of Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. How useful is that time going to be for McLaren to try and take some steps forward and understanding the car? Obviously, you like that track time as well, but what will the benefits of that gap be? But also from a sort of human point of view as well, it was such a brutal winter and very short for everyone. So will it do people good to not travel for a little while?
First of all, let me say we have some time off for the wrong reasons, but having said that, effectively, because of having been such a program, such an intense program, quite pushed from a timeline point of view, actually this pause is welcomed. I think for McLaren as a team, it gives us the possibility to make the parts that we want to take trackside, to evolve our car, make it faster, especially when it comes to aerodynamic performance. I think it gives us some more time to work with HPP, for instance, finalizing all the tools that are required to exploit the power unit, as we discussed before. And importantly, it also gives the staff the time to take a little bit of a breath, because it's been one of the most intense winter that I can remember in my career in Formula One. Definitely, once we started to go trackside in winter, testing itself has been very intense, very busy. So I think it's good that in what is going to be another long season, we have the time to take a breath, and we have the time to catch up from an operational and technical point of view, so that we can be, as a team, specifically talking about McLaren, in condition to fight for more important positions once we race back starting from Miami.
Thank you for that. Next one, please.
Tim Hartman, AD. Question for Mr. Komatsu and Watanabe. Japan has a great history in Formula One. Do you have any concerns about the popularity of the sport in this country with no Japanese driver on the grid? And yeah, where do you think the sport stands at this moment?
Yeah, obviously this country has a rich history of motorsport. You know, I met Formula One when I was 14, and yes, it is a shame that moment we don't have Japanese drivers. But you know, we have a strong partnership with Toyota, and then one of the main purpose of this partnership is to develop human beings, including drivers. So we started that program, and we are creating opportunities, not just for drivers, engineers, mechanics, all the functionalities that required in the Formula One team. It's such a competitive international environment, so it's a great opportunity to grow human beings in every area. And then I really hope that from there we can have a future Formula One driver. But again, you can see atmosphere here. You know, it's improving every year. So I'm sure as long as we're putting on good racing, good show, and then have a good engagement, which I believe we are doing, I think this sports grows, and I would like to really build up, you know, improve this culture in this country to have a future superstar.
Yes, and there are several other good driver, Japanese good driver now, and they have a chance to step up to Formula One. And also, Honda's one of the important activity is we have a racing school here, Honda Racing School Suzuka, and we are educating a lot of young talent to F3, F2. So we are continue strongly proceed to develop the young talent toward Formula One. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you both. Next.
Ronald Vording, Motorsport.com. It's another one for Watanabe-san. One of the comments that Adrian Newey made in Melbourne is that he only found out about the state of Honda's new F1 project in November last year. Could you please clarify the background to that, if that's some kind of misunderstanding? And also, do you think in hindsight some steps could have been done differently in the build-up?
Yeah, basically I think that it's a misunderstanding, and our policy is the rotate the engineer of the motorsports to regularly to mass production or more advanced technologies like jet or eVTOL or hydrogen, something like that. So that is we continue to rotate from the beginning. So that probably my explanation is not enough. And also, of course, as I said, that the rebuild the organization is took a time. So that was his worry, I think. So yeah. But now we have a sufficient organization and talent.
Okay. Thank you for that. If we're quick, we have one more.
Ben Moore with Speed Cafe. Question for Andrea. Oscar spoke yesterday about the importance of your positive attitude in keeping the team motivated throughout the first couple of rounds. Just wondering if you could touch a bit on Oscar's, I guess, how he's been after the difficulties, and also, is there a reason you think Oscar and Lando are sort of getting a bit closer this year and kind of working together more strongly than ever?
Yeah, I think this start of the season has given Oscar the opportunity to, test where he was with his maturity, with his strength, with his ability to absorb adversity. And I have to say that the team is so impressed by the strength that this driver is exhibiting. And I have to say, passing on to the team. Because when you see a driver responding like that to a second race in which he was not in condition to be part of it, then this becomes extremely motivational for all the team. So really credit to Oscar, credit to his own personal development, which is not only the development of a driver getting faster and faster, but also of a person getting more and more mature and strong from a mental point of view. When it comes to the relationship between Oscar and Lando, I've actually been thinking about it because I see how well they collaborate. And I think like these guys have gone through a quest for a world championship, the drivers' world championship, the dream of their life, and competing with one another. And now they keep exhibiting this level of mutual respect. And I think this is perhaps something that we have helped them as a team to reflect and embed, but at the same time, and this is true for Lando as well, what I said before for Oscar, this is who they are. And this is also why they drive a McLaren, because it just wouldn't work, the relationship between a driver and a team, if we didn't share the same values, the same mindset, the same approach to racing. So I'm personally very proud of Lando and Oscar for how they are collaborating at the moment. And just like I said before, if we had not had the 2025, I would say, let me see once they become rivals for the championship, but we have had it already. So at the moment, I'm just proud and happy with what they are doing for McLaren and for themselves.
Thank you, Andrea. Thanks to all three of you. We will leave it there. Best of luck for the rest of the weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We just had a couple of hours ago the press conference of the team principals. I had to do the video right this, so I'm sorry about the inconvenience and for being late a little bit, but alright, so the team principals press conference at Suzuka was actually really interesting, not because of the big drama, but because of what was said between the lines. And there was the team principal of Haas, Ayao Komatsu, and we have the director of Honda, the Koji Watanabe, and we have the principal of McLaren, Stella. And so there are three different situations, and it was really interesting. Komatsu came across super calm, very controlled, but also quite confident, and that's not something that you usually say about Haas. The main thing he kept going back and forth was the structure. Like this team is finally starting to understand what they're doing with the car, how to develop it properly, and just be more consistent overall. No big promises, no hype, just a feeling that they're getting their house in order. Just honestly, that's probably the biggest step for them right now. The most interesting part was the whole press was definitely Honda. Watanabe didn't hide anything. He straight up admitted that the Aston Martin project right now is struggling, and not in a vague way. He actually explained the problem. They're dealing with a serious vibration issue in the power unit, and that's affecting things like the battery, reliability, and overall performance. And these new 2026 regulations, it's a massive deal for them because they were out of Formula One from 2021, as I recall, I think, and they just didn't had the time to update to the new regulations, so they're learning throughout the way for to develop the engine and to put it on the Aston Martin. What's most important though, and this stood out, is that he didn't blame Aston Martin. He kept repeating that this is a joint project, that both sides are working together. Engineers from Honda and Aston are fully connected on this, and yet there are problems, but they're treating it as the one team to fix it. He also mentioned that the Honda is still catching up a bit because of their break from F1, as I said, and now with the new regulation everything is just more complex. So the vibe is that they're not where they want to be. They know exactly why, and it's not something that gets fixed overnight. And that's all that he said, but it's a very concerning situation for them also. Andrea Stella, he was exactly what you expect. He was very calm and analytic, no hype at all. He basically confirmed that we're already seeing on track, the car is improving, but it's still not fully there. And the biggest thing for McLaren right now is consistency, not just being quick in the one session, but putting a full weekend together without mistakes. They had a lot of problems, especially in the Chinese Grand Prix. He also mentioned how tight the field is, which is true. Like small improvements right now can completely change where you end up. So McLaren is just going step by step to improve the car because of the new regulations. They have a lot of problems to improve the product, but slight changes give you a lot of momentum on the races. He just didn't do big statements. He just said the progress of the car, the progress of the team, and he said that the drivers are staying calm and working day and night to get McLaren where it was the last season. But as we see it's a little bit of struggle, but in FP2 they really did a good job. And when you look the whole press, it's pretty interesting. We got Haas trying to rebuild properly, Honda dealing with the technical problems with Aston Martin, and McLaren slowly working their way back up. Three completely different situations, but all moving forward in their own way. There wasn't a lot of drama on the press conference, but definitely one of this was really listening, understanding what's actually going to behind the scenes on Formula One right now. Also, I want to mention that the Honda and Aston Martin problem is Koji Watanabe said openly that vibration problem in the power unit is it's very a big problem for them, because the drivers are in a big risk if they drive the car for a really long time, because the vibrations hit also the bullet of the car. So while the drivers are riding the car, the whole car starts to vibrate, and it can damage the nerves of their hands if they drive more than 15 or like 20 laps, let's say, like that. But it's happening because the engine's regulations are extremely complex. That's what he said, and they are trying to catch up as fast as possible that they can. But it's also interesting that he said it's not just about the engine, it's about the engine to integrate on Aston Martin's car. So clearly they cannot put together the car and the engine together, because it doesn't have that fit. It doesn't have that fit. So that's what they are trying to try to fix at Aston Martin, and it's really complex thing. It's really bad thing to experience. But both of the parties don't blame each other. They just said that we are working as a team, no finger pointing, no excuses. Engineers are working closely together, especially here in Japan, trying to fix these issues as quickly as possible. The performance is not there they wanted. They are still in recovery mode. Fixes are coming, but not instantly. This is a long-term problem, and it's not quick to fix. So yeah, overall, that's what just happened on the press conference interview, and it's really interesting to see what kind of answer they give to the presses. and interesting. So yeah, maybe not the flashiest press conference, but definitely one of the most important one, because while others are fighting for wins right now, these teams are building what comes next. Thank you everyone for watching this video with us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. If you have something to add up, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one.